A very good afternoon, student. Today, let me start third lesson. The topic is fluids. Physics third lesson. Topic is fluids. What is meant by fluids? What are the characteristics of fluids? So, this lesson we can discuss about the characteristics and the behaviors of fluids. This is learning objectives. After completing this lesson, student will be able to define pressure in terms of weight, explain the variation of pressure with respect to depth in a fluid, learn the fact that liquid exerts an upward force on objects immersed in it, calculate the density of a liquid when pressure and altitude are given, learn the formula for finding the relative density of an object and applying the same. Understand the behavior of floating bodies. Now, the next introduction. This is very simple logic and easy to understand the pressure, the term pressure by this introduction. A small iron nail sinks in water, whereas a huge ship of heavy mass of floats on seawater. Astronauts have to wear a special suit while traveling in space. All these have a common reason called pressure. If the pressure increases in a solid based on its inherent properties, it experiences tension and ultimately deforms or breaks. In the case of fluids, it causes them to flow rather than to deform. Although liquids and gases share some common characteristics, they have many distinctive characteristics on their own. It is easy to compress a gas whereas liquids are incompressible. It is very important points. It is easy to compress a gas whereas liquids are incompressible. Learning of all these facts helps us to understand pressure better. In this lesson, you will study about pressure in fluid, density of fluids, and their applications in practical life. The next important topic is thrust and pressure. Thrust and pressure. Pushing a pin into a board by its end, it is difficult. Why? But pushing it by the pointed end is easy. Have you ever wondered why a camel can run in a desert easily? Why a truck or a motor bus has wider tire? Why cutting tools have sharp edges? In order to answer these questions and understand the phenomena involved, we need to learn about two interrelated physical concepts called thrust and pressure. These are all the points. Introduction about the thrust and pressure. The next thing is, in both the case of above activity, the force exerted on the sand is the weight of your body, which is the same. This force acting perpendicular to the surface is called thrust. When you stand on the loosely sand means the force exerted on the sand is the weight of your body, which is the same. This force acting perpendicular to the surface is called thrust. So, force acting perpendicular to the surface is called thrust. Note it down, children. This is the definition of thrust. Force acting perpendicular to the surface is called thrust. Please note it down. Once again, repeat. Force acting perpendicular to the surface is called thrust. When you stand on loose sand, the force is acting on an area equal to the area of your feet. When you lie down, the sum force acts on an area of your whole body, which is larger than the area of your feet. When you lie down, the same force acts on an area of your whole body, which is larger than the area of your feet. Therefore, the effect of thrust depends on the area on which it acts. This is very important point for your objective type question. The effect of thrust depends on the area on which it acts. Please note it down, this point. The effect of thrust depends on the area on which it acts. The effect of thrust on sand is larger while standing than while lying. So this is also important point. The effect of thrust on sand is larger while standing than while lying. The force per unit area acting on an object concerned is called pressure. Please note it down, children. Definition of pressure is nothing but the force per unit area acting on an object concerned is called pressure. Simply says force per unit area is nothing but pressure. Force per unit area acting on an object concerned is called pressure. Thus, we can say thrust on an unit area is pressure. We can say thrust on an unit area is pressure. So, what is the formula for the pressure means? Pressure is equal to thrust by area of contact. Once again repeat. Pressure is equal to thrust by area of contact. For the same given force, if the area is larger, pressure is low. Please note it down, children. This is very important point. If the area is large, pressure is low, and vice versa. If the area is low, small means pressure is high. If the area is large, pressure is low. If the area is small, pressure is high. So this is the very important point. Here by this diagram, we can easily understand this is the area of contact, this is the larger area. So that is why pressure acting on a larger area is very low. This is smaller area, the pressure acting on a smaller area, pressure is very high, that is high pressure because area is small. Once again repeat the formula for the pressure. Pressure is equal to thrust by area of contact. What is meant by thrust? Force acting perpendicular to the surface area. Once again repeat, thrust means force acting perpendicular to the surface area. What is meant by pressure? Once again repeat, force per unit area unit area acting on an object. Force per unit area acting on an object concerned is called pressure. What is meant by thrust? Force acting perpendicular to the surface is called thrust. The next important thing is, what is the unit of pressure? The SI unit of thrust is Newton. The unit of pressure is Newton per square meter or Newton meter power minus 2, denoted as N, capital N, small m, power minus 2. Once again repeat. What is the unit of pressure? Unit of pressure is Newton per square meter. What is the unit of thrust? Unit of thrust is nothing but Newton. The symbol is capital N, small m, power minus 2. In the honor of the great French scientist Blaise Pascal, 1 Newton per square meter is called as 1 Pascal, denoted as PA, capital P, small a. 1 Pascal is equal to 1 Newton meter power minus 2. Once again repeat, this is very important definition. What is mean by 1 Pascal? 1 Pascal means 1 Newton per square meter is called as 1 Pascal, denoted as capital P, small a. 1 Pascal is equal to, very important objective type question. 1 Pascal is equal to 1 Newton meter power minus 2. Do you know, if a single nail pricks our body, it is very painful. How is it possible for a people to lie down on the bed of nails, still remain unhurt? It is because area of contact is more. It is because area of contact is more. The next very simple problem about pressure. A man whose mass is 90 kilogram. A man whose mass is 90 kilogram stands on his feet on a floor. The total area of contact of is 2 feet with the floor is 0.036 meter square. Floor is feet with the floor is 0.036 meter square. Take G. G means acceleration due to gravity. G is equal to 10 meter per second square. How much is the pressure exerted by him on the floor? So what is the formula? Weight of the man is nothing but thrust. Already we know the formula for the force. Force is equal to mass into acceleration due to gravity, G, M into G. Mass is nothing but 90 kilogram into G value is 10 meter per second square. 90 into 10 is nothing but 900 Newton. Force is 900. Force is nothing but thrust. What is the formula for the pressure? Pressure is equal to force by area or thrust by area of contact. Thrust is nothing but otherwise called force. Force acting perpendicular to the surface. That is why P is equal to F by A. What is the value of F? 900 Newton divided by area is nothing but 0.036 meter square. So, divided these two terms, we obtain 25,000 Pascal. Answer is 25,000 Pascal. So, pressure is equal to 25,000 Pascal. What is the formula for the pressure? Pressure is equal to force by area. Force is nothing but 900 Newton divided by area is nothing but 0.036 meter square. Divided these two terms, we obtain 25,000 Pascal. The next, pressure in fluids. Pressure in fluids. All the following substances, both liquids and gases, are called fluids. So, very important point, children. Please note it down. Both liquids and gases are called fluids. Fluid means liquids and gases. Both liquids and gases are called fluids. Like solids, fluids also have weight and therefore exert pressure. When filled in a container, the pressure of the fluid is exerted in all directions and at all points of the fluids. Since the molecule of a fluid are in constant rapid motion, particles are likely to move equally in any directions. Therefore, the pressure exerted by the fluid acts on an object for all the direction because the molecules of the substance moving in a random rapid motion, particles likely move equally in all directions. That is why the pressure exerted by the fluid acts on an object from all directions. It is shown in the figure. Pressure in fluid is calculated as shown in below. Here this is the gas pressure. Gas molecules moving in a random, that means different direction, all the direction, so collide with each other. Collision of molecules give rise to the pressure. Collision of the molecules gives rise to pressure. So fluid pressure, how will you calculate the fluid pressure? Fluid pressure is nothing but total force exerted by the fluid divided by area over which the force is exerted. Force by area. Fluid pressure is nothing but total force exerted by the fluid divided by area over which the force is exerted. So fluid pressure is equal to, simply says, force by area. The next, we shall first learn about the pressure exerted by liquids and then learn about the pressure exerted by gases. Now, pressure due to liquids. Pressure due to liquids. The force exerted due to the pressure of a liquid on a body submerged in it and on the walls of the container is always perpendicular to the surface. We can see the pressure acting on all sides of the vessel. Once again repeat, we can see the pressure acting on all sides of the vessel. When an air-filled balloon is immersed inside the water in a vessel, it immediately comes up and floats on water. This shows that the water or liquid exerted pressure in the upward direction. So from this diagram we can easily understand. The person immersed the balloon in the water surface. When we remove the hand, what happened? The balloon automatically comes out from the liquid surface, that means water surface. So the waters always gives the pressure in a outward direction, that means upward direction, because liquid have pressure in all the direction. Similarly, liquid pressure acts in lateral side also. When a bottle having water is placed in on the sides, we can see water coming out with a speed here as shown in the figure. This is because liquid exerts the lateral pressure on the walls of the container. From this activity, we can infer that pressure varies as depth increases. Pressure varies as depth increases. But it is same at a particular depth independent of the direction. By this activity, we can easily understand the liquid pressure. Take a transparent plastic pipe. Also take a balloon and tie it tightly over one end of the plastic pipe here. Pour some water in the pipe from the top. What happens? The balloon tied at the bottom stretched and bulges out. It shows that the water poured in the pipe exerts a pressure on the bottom of its container. Activity 4 also clearly explain about the liquid pressure. Pressure in a liquid. Take two liquids of different density of water and oil to some level in two plastic container. Make holes in the two containers at the same level. Here, two holes. Two holes. That is holes. Make holes in the two containers in the same level. What do you see? It can be seen that water is squirting out with more pressure than oil. Squirting out with more pressure than oil. This indicated that pressure depends on density of the liquid. Very, very important point. This is very, very important point, children. Please note it down. This indicates that pressure depends on density of the liquid. The next topic, very, very, very important topic. Please note it down. Listen carefully. Factors determining liquid pressure in liquids. Factors determining liquid pressure in liquids. Pressure exerted by the liquid at a point is determined by. Very, very important point, children. This is very, very important point. Please note it down. First point is depth. When the depth is changes, pressure also change. Density of the liquid. Based on the density only, the value of the pressure will be calculated. The last one is very, very important thing. Acceleration due to gravity. Gravitational force only decided the value of the pressure. So, pressure exerted by the liquid at a point is determined. First point is depth. Second one is density of the liquid. Third one is acceleration due to gravity. Through this activity, we can easily understand these 3 points. Take a large plastic can, punch a holes with a nail in a vertical line on the side of the can as shown in the figure. Then fill the can with water. The water may just dribble out from the top hole, but with increased speed at the bottom of the bottom holes, and depth causes the water to squirt out with more pressure. So upper holes gives the low pressure, at the same time bottom holes gives the high pressure. So based on this, acceleration due to gravity only fixed the value of the pressure. Then the density of the liquid only fixed the value of the pressure. Then the depth also fixed the value of the pressure. So pressure exerted by a liquid at a point is determined by depth, density of the liquid, acceleration due to gravity. The next topic is pressure due to a liquid column. Pressure due to a liquid column. A tall beaker is filled with liquid so that it forms a liquid column. The area of cross section at the bottom is A. Area of cross section is A. Density of the liquid is called rho. Here the symbol is called rho. The height of the liquid column is H. This is the height of the liquid column H. In other words, the depth of the water from the top level surface is H in the figure as shown in the figure 3.4. We know that the thrust at the bottom of the column F is equal to weight of the liquid. Thrust is nothing but force. Already I told thrust is nothing but otherwise called force. Weight of the liquid. Therefore, F is equal to mg. We can get the mass of the liquid by multiplying the volume of the liquid and its density. That means mass is equal to density into volume. Density into volume. Density, already the basic fundamental formula is density is equal to mass by volume. From this formula, we have to rearrange the step. Mass is equal to density into volume. This is the formula for the mass based on the density. Volume of the liquid column V is equal to area of the cross section into height H. That means A into H. What is the formula for the volume? Volume is equal to area into height. Area into height. Substituting equation 3, this is equation 3 in 2, what happened? Volume is nothing but AH. Here AH, just substituting the value of volume. So mass is equal to rho into AH. This is the equation number 4. Substituting the equation 4 in equation 1 here. What is the value of mass? Mass is nothing but rho into AH. Just substituting the value, this value, equation 4 value. We obtained force is equal to rho AH. That means value of the mass is nothing but rho AH into G. So already we know the formula for the pressure. What is the formula for pressure? Pressure is equal to thrust by area. That means force by area. Force is nothing but mg divided by A. Here what is the value of mg? Mg is nothing but rho AHG. So just substituting the value of mg, rho AHG divided by A. A cancel to each other. So pressure is equal to, remaining term is rho Hg. Rho Hg. So pressure due to the liquid column, P is equal to H rho G. P is equal to H rho G. This expression shows that pressure in a liquid column is determined by depth, density of the liquid and the acceleration due to gravity. Interestingly, the final expression for the pressure does not have the term area A in it. Thus, pressure in liquid depends on depth only. Pressure in liquid depends on depth only. Please note it down, children. Pressure in liquid depends on depth only. This is very important objective type question. Please note it down, children. Pressure in liquid depends on depth only. So based on this formula, we have to calculate the pressure value by this problem. Calculate the pressure exerted by the column of the water, height 0.85 meter. Density of water P rho W is equal to 1000 kg per meter cube. And kerosene of same height, density of the kerosene rho K is equal to 800 kg per meter cube. So what is the pressure of the water and what is the pressure of the kerosene? Now the solution is pressure due to the water is equal to, the last derivation says pressure is equal to H rho G. Here we can use this formula H rho W G. Rho W means density of the water. So what is the value of H? H is nothing but 0.85 into, what is the value of density of water? 1000 into, what is the value of G? G actually that is a constant value, 10 meter per second square. So multiple these three terms, we obtain 8500 Pascal. 8500 Pascal, because 1000 into 10, 10,000, 10,000 into 85, 8500 Pascal. Similarly, pressure due to kerosene is equal to H rho kg. Rho k means density of the kerosene. So density of the kerosene H rho k g. So what is the value of H? 0.85 meter into, what is the value of density of the kerosene? 800 kilogram meter cube per meter cube into, what is the value of acceleration due to gravity? G, 10 meter per second square. So multiple these three terms, 800 into 10, 8000. 8000 into 0.85 meter is nothing but 6800 Pascal. 6800 Pascal. So water pressure is very high because 8500 Pascal compared to the kerosene pressure due to the kerosene. So value of the pressure due to water is high. Value of the pressure due to kerosene is very low compared to the water. So this is very important problem, children. Please note it down, children. Once again repeat definition of the pressure and the definition of the thrust. Pressure is nothing but force per unit area acting on an object concerned is called pressure. Once again repeat, the force per unit area acting on an object concerned is called pressure. Then what is meant by thrust? Thrust is nothing but force acting perpendicular to the surface is called thrust. Force acting perpendicular to the surface is called thrust. So, thank you children. This is the third lesson, introduction, fluids lesson. Thank you very much.